Let's do this, shall we? So, keeping it kind of simple today, is as you might have gathered, didn't exactly have the best night last night. I had fun, and then my body also decided, you know what, sleep is for people better than you, so we're just not gonna let you have any of that. I think I slept between, like, 6 in the morning to 11 this morning? Somewhere in that range. Time has honestly kind of lost meaning a little bit. We're just gonna play some of this Machina Blade game here, and potentially a couple other things, since this game does seem to be a little simple, so I don't know how long it'll hold me. But it does seem like it's pretty good. I'll give them that. I picked it up on the cheap during this sale, cheap being like $2, so really got no complaints.
Get ready.
You get a couple starting items as you saw there, but you have to unlock those by playing. In my 2 test runs I did, I managed to make up enough to get those 3 items you saw there. I grabbed the hero sombrero because that's the one that gives me cooldown reduction, and you're gonna want that for this game, it seems. At least for red here. But as you can see, pretty standard. Run around, murder everything, try to stay alive, pretty much. That counter on the right is a kill streak you can get, basically. As long as you keep hitting things, that timer will keep refreshing. And of course, the number goes up the more you kill. Pretty standard fare, all things considered there. Good at what it does, though. You have, as you can see down there on the bottom left, 4 skills you can use. 3 of which you have all the time, one's an ultimate skill that you get only occasionally. Combo shield, good to have. There doesn't appear to be much, like, crazy exploration or anything, it's just get to the end. Ideally quickly, considering the kill streaks to this game. That white meter you see on enemies does stagger them when it empties. That's what that break thing you see pop up is. And they do seem to get more vulnerable on top of being stunned when they break. So that's a nice feature. Now, this was a game I actually kept an eye on Twitter for a while, leading up to its release, and then it kind of fell off the map when it came out, so I honestly forgot about it, if I'm being blunt. I completely forgot this game existed. Then I saw it during this spring sale, and I'm like, you know what, for $2, it can't possibly be bad, genuinely. And honestly, the worst thing I can say about this is it's a little too simple. Like, it's good at what it does, it moves fast, it moves well. But at the very least, right now where we don't have a lot of unlocks, there's not a lot going on. I've seen some potential in a couple of the items I picked up on my first trip. And the only legitimate technical complaint I've come up across so far is not that much feedback when you get hit. So sometimes you can be getting destroyed and not really know it, depending on the enemy you're fighting. But as you can see, boxes sometimes pop out, which trying to read those while keeping your kill streak alive can be tricky. Now, one thing I will say that is probably part of why they kept it relatively simple is this can be played with up to 4 in local multiplayer. So that whole bottom of the screen would be filled with UI, which I could see becoming a bit of a problem, and of course, you know, keeping track of so much information would get complicated. So I also see the other side to that, which is why I'm not really giving much a problem on the simplicity. Just, it may not last super long for me. At least not right here, right now. Because I personally notice I have more attention issues the more tired I am. And or in areas like this, you'll notice the timer for my kill streak has stopped. Is basically all time seems to pause here. So you can think about the items that you explore to find. You just can't think about the items you find that drop from enemies. Like this one right here, every 20 enemies you destroy, you'll get an immunity to the next attack that hits. And of course, there's just a straight stat benefit to it as well. We can look through our items here. 30% cooldown reduction and evading an enemy attack burns everything near you a little bit. And this is why I say there's potential, because I love games that have these kind of items in them. This is the big win out of this game for me, is the fact that it has an item system like this. You put an item system like that in, and you're gonna have my attention. But your items have to do something interesting. They can't just be number boosts. If I wanted just number get better, I would just play like a Diablo game or something. Because those are pretty much the number get better the game situation. Not counting things that are actual like idle games that are literally all number get big. That's a whole different situation. It's like your actual combos and such are also fairly simplistic, but that's not exactly a bad thing. And notice even these money crystals count towards hitting something, so you can maintain your combo, which I always find a bit nice. And I do appreciate that fancy little bit of slow-mo you get when you dodge through something with one of your moves. It's always a nice feeling. Wouldn't necessarily mind if there was an option to turn it off, for me personally, but it is a nice touch. Because I find that speed changes like that throw me off more than being beneficial. But that's a personal thing. Now for our first boss. The Copper Colossus. And one of my biggest, I guess, complaints with this game is this fight's really simple. Like, as long as you pay even half attention, you can just walk back and forth to the other side of this thing and never get hit. Which is not a bad thing for a first boss. I just worry that that's going to be the way all of the bosses in this game play out. And this is a short game, from all I've seen out and about this. The game is quite short. It's, I think, like 5 stages. Even on the store page, they mentioned 4 bosses. I also think... There we go. I was about to say, I think I broke its AI slightly. I purposely let it hit me so that it might figure its shit out a little bit, so it might do something. But this is exactly what I mean about this boss not exactly being particularly dangerous. Which is where the blessing and curse of the idea of not having contact damage comes in. I'm happy that they don't have contact damage, but I feel like maybe for bosses it might not have been the worst idea to allow some amount of it. Maybe give it a move that gives it that capacity just to keep people from just walking back and forth through this fight, for example. Golden underwear. Okay, I spam my skills, so getting crit rate from that is actually fantastic. Yeah, that was stage 1. And now we're on to stage 2, which is as far as I went in my test run. But I also wasn't trying that hard. Because I didn't want to beat the game. I'm on my first go-through, for example. It was also the point where I started getting real greedy because I realized how the combo system worked by that point. And some of these shield guys are really rough to deal with. Especially in conjunction with something like this cannon. But thankfully, as long as you stay on track and keep dodging, you're generally pretty safe, especially with the cooldown reduction we have now, so I can keep dashing around. And you'll notice it's not too hard to counter enemies out of their movements, as long as you time it well. I screwed up that jump, for example, plowing straight into his shield, so we both took damage on that deal, which is fine. I don't mind when a game actually has a trade work out that way. I'd rather a collision like that actually amount to both sides taking damage than me just arbitrarily not doing anything and just taking damage. So I have respect for how that plays out. And I do like that the combo system gives you buffs. That's always a nice thing. Give the combo system a purpose other than, oh hey, this is how you get better score. Or so it's not just number go burr. Which, don't get me wrong, there's a place for number go burr. Especially since this game feels very much like an arcade game. With the kind of simplistic combat, the very fast movement, constant encouragement to keep going faster, or in doing better. And honestly, it is pretty brutal about trying to kill you. Just there's a lot of ways to counteract them trying to kill you. I kinda want the Kingdom Blade. I don't really care for a Keyblade, but more cooldown reduction. 10 flat damage might be huge, because we are starting to fall off on getting rid of the enemies, and I think that's why we're actually taking damage right now, is I can't keep them off the screen. And there's a teleporter, so I think we can actually come back here. The big question, I guess we were supposed to go up. Okay, so the levels do get more complicated, because as you saw with the first stage, it was literally just go to the right and you're done. This one actually has verticality to it a little bit. And as you can see, the shield guys, you can break their shields. Just destroy them completely. And I highly recommend doing so if you can, because it will make your life a lot simpler. Because then, you know, they don't have that whole protection from the front thing anymore going for them. Would appreciate it if you'd stop it with the fire there, buddy. Knock it off. We are almost dead, though. And now you probably see why I died on this stage before. Go. So I do kind of want to see if I can try out the multiplayer for this at some point. Because I think it would still be fun, even though this is kind of simple. I think the multiplayer would add a layer to it that this needs. There's even something, say for example, like Risk of Rain, is very simplistic in the actual gameplay, but the items and such make that game go to a whole different layer of thought processes. which is why that system works. Which is also the same potential I can see here, but I think it taps into that potential potentially better with other people. Because it makes more happen constantly. Two shields layered on top of each other, which is unfortunate. Get rid of him. Jump up there to keep that combo going. There we go. I couldn't tell where that cannon was because everything layered on top of each other, so I just jumped and hoped. And I was right. Ah. Dropped a fucking thing on my head. Got another unlock, though. New starter item, supersonic boots. We'll go back to main menu. Now, one side thing to this, and another reason why I compare this to an arcade game, is it goes straight from the start screen to character select, straight away. The only way you access options is once you're in, you can press start and access your options. And, you know, this character select screen is also very arcade. None of which bad things. This is just the facts of what this is. Just in case anybody's thinking I'm talking down about this. No, I like this game so far. If my sole complaint ends up being something is too simple, you know that there's nothing outright wrong with it. Let's try the Evilborn Gauntlet with Valerie here.
Get ready.
And you'll see why I say that for her in a quick second here. Because she is ranged. Her damage output is lower than Red's, but you have the advantage of reach, and her attack speed's pretty good with her basic. She can do some very good damage with things like the shotgun. At least I'm assuming that's a shotgun. It might be a rifle. Just like a very large bore rifle. She's got a back jump on her third skill, which threw me off real bad when I first switched between the two of them, because I went from dodging with B to dodging with right bumper. A little bit of a weird flip there. She also has a bit more of a problem getting hit by random projectiles, because she's not as mobile. At least not in the way I've been playing her so far. Because, you know, we've only got the one movement ability. Whereas Red had two. She does, as you can see, crank out some good damage with her skills, though. I think she also breaks enemies faster than Red did, but I can't guarantee that. I haven't played enough of this to be like, yeah, this is absolutely fact. And the thing I appreciate with her B skill is she can actually shoot either direction without actually changing her facing, which can be very handy in a fight. So if something is like creeping up behind you, you can just pop them with the pistol shot, and then resume focusing on the thing in front of you. And that is another thing I'll give this game credit for. The animation is very nice in this game, as is just the art in general. Even if, again, some of it can be a bit simple. But again, there's nothing wrong with simple. I just pointed out because that's just the fact of what I'm looking at. And that is her ultimate. She just pops out a big gun and just goes to town on things for a little bit. But as you can see, I do have a harder time keeping Valerie's health up, because not only is it a different skill layout, which fucks with my head a little bit, she also just does not have the mobility, by comparison. So it's a lot easier to get stuck in the mix, which for a character who seems to be all about range is the exact opposite of what you want. I probably should have kept the hero sombrero so I could have had the cooldown reduction. Because that's also part of why Red lasted as long as he did. Now, you may be wondering, well, why'd you jump into that saw blade? I realized it was there as I jumped into it, because it kind of blends into that sky a bit. Now, I've not tried Tristan at all. He's got Giga Drill Break, Dash Punch, Charge Order, Counter and Riposte, and War Banner. As you can see from his stats, he's also the defensive character, which is usually not what I take, but I figure we may as well look at all three of them. Yeah, let's give you the White Mantle for the extra HP, since you're probably going to be the big stompy one. And it's going to have a bit harder. Oh, he's got big ol' Lance. Okay. Okay, not as slow as I was worried he was going to be. His movement speed's a little rough. This camera angle's a thing. I know the chest's up there, Gam. You don't need to make me not able to see. Ooh. Demon-born Blade. Hitting an enemy with basic attack instantly burns the target for a few seconds. Okay. I'm into it. Yeah, that's giving him a pretty good damage boost, which seems like something he needs. Though, it's interesting. His meter for damage was higher than Red's, which confuses me slightly. So I can only assume there's something about his moveset that I'm not quite understanding yet. Because his basic attack is definitely not super strong. Oh, there we go. I can hold it. That might actually be a thing. Okay, hang on. I might have something here. Except it doesn't seem like I can always do that? I am a little confused by how he works right now. And that confusion is leading to a lot of pain. He does seem to heal off his counter, though. So that's actually pretty huge. Ah, okay. I think I'm starting to understand. Hang on. Can I see that in some way? No, that's another downside to this game, is you can't actually double-check what your character's kit does. That's a little unfortunate. Because I think that fifth icon there we have with the drill, I think is what's determining whether I can actually do the drill hold or not. Okay, that's what his ultimate does. That's a banner. It is a healing banner, which is actually pretty strong. I like that. Especially since I'm not exactly at my best right now. Which is part of why I'm playing terribly. I'm already better suited to the fast, dashy, dodgy strats to begin with, but being tired definitely makes it harder. Hey there, Blowfish, how you doing? Down. Keep the streak alive. Oh, what's the matter? Broke your shield? Maybe we should have bought a better one. And let the War Banner charge us back up a little bit. go. Now, one fair point people pointed out in the Steam reviews for this was there does not appear to be much of any plot or anything, which isn't a bad thing, but it is a noticeable thing in this day and age where most things have at least some plot shoved in your face. Now, personally, I don't mind there not being any. It doesn't need it. But I can see why people would point that out. That is definitely a factor. All things considered, I'm liking the way Tristan works a bit, but he's a little stiff to use for me. So I think we'll probably be staying with Red for the most part, just because he moves so damn well. And that's how I do things, is I'd rather be very mobile. Especially in a game like this. Okay. Drilling him did not really work out in our favor, but it was funny. I do appreciate that I can chain my skills pretty nicely no matter who I've been so far. So that's a good touch. Because you need satisfying chaining for a game like this, or it starts getting real stale real fast. Now, fighting this boss with this guy can be a little bit interesting. I'm gonna keep reflexively trying to use my B button to dodge. Which, that punch can dodge a little bit, it seems. Just not, like, great. Time that wrong. This is a fighting style that's kind of opposite how I normally operate, so it's fucking with my head really bad. No, 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 no. I know what that does. No, 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 no. Okay, I did manage to time it enough to get some health back from that. It's not what I wanted. Missed me. Gotcha. Got another break. Just drill right on through ya. Yeah, it does seem to do scaling damage the longer I'm drilling. That's probably the key to making him do the amount of damage the game was claiming he could do. Okay, reduce cooldowns when I evade, and I get a bit of movement speed that this guy desperately needs. Very good. We are going to be in trouble for stage 2, though, since we had so much trouble just getting through stage 1. The gloves definitely seem to come off as soon as you get to stage 2. I feel like they could have done with a little bit more music, but the music's okay. It's just a little too subtle for the way this game works, I feel. Like that, there's a little bit of a tempo mismatch in my opinion on that one. I'm not saying it had to be like super aggressive, but it might need a little bit more of a push than the kind of smooth music we got going right now. I will say, all three characters have been very pick up and play, but there's definitely potential to do more with them. So I like that. There's no excess complexity here. I expected the bird thing to jump, and it didn't. Okay, let's go down here first. Clear all that out. Banner down. We don't seem to get a lot of health back from this, but it's enough to keep him going. Which is good enough, honestly. It is a bit of a tempo break by doing that. I could probably use that mid-fight instead of trying to have it more maintainable. But having it be more maintainable also means we actually get to get all of the health. Gravity cannon, hit them with a skill to paralyze. Destroying an enemy sharply buffs your attack speed for a brief moment. That's pretty good. That, I think, is a Dead Cells reference, considering the way that head looks. When you die to an enemy attack, revive with 80 health and gain lifesteal. If an ally revives you, they also gain the lifesteal. So that's actually fantastic. And at the rate we're going, we're gonna die, so I'll take that. That might be what turns our run through stage 2 here into a success. After all, they can't kill you if you can't die. Speed boost to get past that. Ha! Bet you guys thought you had me. Yeah, I think that's the play right there, actually. Okay. You pop banner and you go apeshit amongst them. He still clocked the damage on me, but we made him pay for it, so I'll take it. We're holding together okay. We're not, like, doing the best here. Mostly gotta watch out for those damn projectiles. That was a bit overkill, but I need the healing. Yeah, we haven't used up our decapitated head yet, so we're actually doing better than I expected. Then again, doing better every time is expected. There'd be something a bit wrong if I wasn't managing to do a little bit better each time, no matter who I was using. This burn damage I'm doing is actually a huge help. I'm very glad we got that weapon for this guy. 90% of my problems have been just misplays on my part. Because I'm not used to Tristan yet. He definitely rewards really bold play. You just gotta balance how bold you want to be with how much you can actually do. And I gotta get used to the fact that I can't just dodge everything. I do actually have to deal with my problems. There we go. There we go. Nice and smooth. We're actually gaining health, so we're actually not in a bad spot. We're certainly in a better spot than I thought we were going to be. Let's use this teleporter to go back to the shop, actually, since we have money. The little gems down there in the bottom left are our currency. Oh, hey, enemies respawn? Huh. I never actually went back anywhere in this game yet, so I didn't know that they respawn. That's news. That means you could technically farm for money, then, if you really needed to. Weird in this kind of game. Either that or I somehow missed... Oh, no. I couldn't have missed that. Now we'll grab the golden claws. Is not only did we want the flat 20, but the attack speed buff when you kill an enemy is going to be huge. We can also check there if there was some... No, the map makes it look like there really isn't much of anything there. We won't worry about that. This is when I find out, like, there's some kind of awesome box that would spawn up there, and I'm just gonna be sad, but eh. I'll live. It's boss time, so maybe I won't live. We'll find out. Quicksilver Colossus. Now, I don't know what this thing's movement set is at all, because I've not fought it yet. So this could go really badly for me. But since I got a good break on it already, we'll see how this goes. It seems like its main thing is using that big cannon, so it gives us lots of opportunities to sit there and drill it. Oh, I don't like that. Let's get rid of these. Now that I know how these work, we just need to destroy those post-haste before he gets his cannon ready. Joke's on you, I can evade that. I can also take advantage of his little cannon things, actually, to buff my attack speed. That is a lot of flashing when all those come together, though. I'm not a fan of that. I tried to be a little cheeky, and that didn't quite work out in my favor. Break him out of that move. Good punching. We might burn our decapitated head here. It's gonna be close. Yep, there it is. Which is a pity, because we basically won it right there. If I was somebody who could move faster, I could have finished him off. But I unfortunately just could not do it. Okay, hitting an enemy about to attack paralyzes it for a few seconds. That sounds phenomenal. And we'll get to see stage 3. And if I do beat this game today, I am counting it on the list. Absolutely. Even if it is a short game. Mostly because I get the feeling it's actually going to be quite the feat to beat this. Stage 1 definitely lulls you into a bit of a false sense of security in some ways, I'd say. Compared to how the rest of this ends up going. Jesus, that axe. You are also a sturdy goddamn bastard. I suspect this game is built for the multiplayer it has. In terms of its scaling. I timed that wrong. That one's on me. Now, don't get me wrong. I could be avoiding a lot of these guys, probably. And preventing some of this damage, but we'd also then be getting less. I hit the wrong fucking button. Oh! Oh, that's incredible. So, fun fact, the decapitated head has a cooldown. It's not a one-time use. So you can revive with it multiple times. That is ridiculous. That is actually a game changer in our current situation here. So that basically means as long as I don't die back to back, like immediately, we can't die. Which, with the staying power Tristan has, that's actually ridiculous. None of that summoning nonsense you're doing there, buddy. Just put an end to that. Come here, you. I'm not done beating you up. And you do seem to get money, and I think that's ultimate charge is the yellow meter or under our health. I keep feeling like it's an experience meter, but it can't be. I'm pretty confident it's ultimate charge. Yeah, because it's full and our ultimate's ready, so that's how that works. Lost a little bit of the heal there, but I also didn't eat shit to all the attacks possible there, so I think that was a worthy trade. It actually's throwing my counters off a little bit when I randomly paralyze them instead. It's a blessing and a curse. Alright, Sonic, you chill the fuck out there, buddy. Okay, we still have this situation under control. I'm gonna lose the buff, but I'd rather have the extra, like, 50 health. We need all the health we can get right now. At least you just summon small crap bots. I was trying to cut him off from jumping, and instead all I did was smash my face into his attack. Ah, I thought I was going to break him before he finished swinging. I got a little greedy there, and it's definitely showing in my health bar. Ah, and we finally died. Damn it. There was too much stuff piled in there. New starter item, chain blades. New starter item, crowbar. And that's it. Back to menu.
Machina blade.
I think if we get the right items as red, red will be the winning choice for me, though. I find it very funny that they say red's the hardest one to play in terms of their difficulty sliders. Whereas for me personally, I think he was the easiest. He was the first one I played, I understood him immediately, and I just went on a tear.
Red.
But I guess maybe it's what you're used to and what you usually play that kind of factors into that. Stacking attack speed. Have my attention. I did really like the hero sombrero, but I'm intrigued by stacking attack speed.
Get ready.
And I do like the starting item system they have, so you can vary up your runs a bit. I think part of the thing is Red's attacks chain together very nicely, whereas the other ones don't quite flow perfectly smoothly between their moves. Like, I would honestly say Red's kit is the simplest of the three. Need to understand, since it's just a lot of smash, smash, smash. Tristan's would be arguably the most complicated because it's got the most mechanics actually going on between the counter and the way his little barrier thing works. Always like this, though, are a nightmare for Red because you got no room to move. Cooldown reduction. Ooh, 30% ultimate charge whenever you do evade. I evade a lot with Red, so that's actually going to be amazing. My timing's all fucked up with Red now after playing the other two, though. So this might be a binge run while I get back in it. So I'm not managing to dodge quite as well as I would like to. So I got admittedly kind of used to not having to. Yeah, that combo's dropping fast. Oh good, I found a target to land on. Mage Hunter Blade. Permanently increased crit chance, okay. Go. Nice and easy. We are nearly dead, though. Like, very nearly dead. We also didn't make that much money in spite of how high we got our combo. Got some nice things sitting in here, though. These are all things I would like to have, but unfortunately we got broke. So we're gonna have to go back to this portal and go up and over, I think. Yep. So there's decent odds on us just dying along the way, unfortunately. Like that. Because those little crab bots don't attack often, but their attack comes out really quick. So if I just have the slightest lapse in attention.
Machina blade.
So I guess maybe that's where the difficulty with Red comes in, is he's real fragile. So unless you have your timing on point, you might just get wrecked. Maybe that's the problem. I think what I'll do is I'll actually take the white mantle, since evading will heal me, that will stabilize Red. It's not as fun as the chain blade, but I feel like that's the smarter choice. I don't know if y'all noticed how many times the evade text popped up when I was jumping around. But basically, anytime I happened to dash through an attack or jump through an attack or anything like that with good timing, evade would prompt, so I would be healing every time that happened. And then there's times like that where I just jump into an attack like an idiot. Something I'm trying to figure out is every now and then I seem to get a double dash. And I'm not really sure how that was happening. Because I didn't notice that in testing, but I may have just missed it. Part of what's throwing off my timing, I think, is because I'm actually remembering to use my spin attack more. Getting hit by an enemy deals attack damage to the attacker, bonus damage if the attack is dodged. Yes, please. Kill my enemies for them trying to kill me. It's very easy to slip off those ledges, is one problem I have with this, in terms of the stage design and such. Which, it's a blessing and a curse when you slide off, don't get me wrong. There are times where it's actually a godsend to slide off. But I would rather, you know, fall off of there when I want to, not, surprise, you fell off of there. Like, I'm in the middle of a complex maneuver and I suddenly slip off unexpectedly. It can be very, very unfortunate. That is not the direction I told you to jump there, Red. You were supposed to go off to the right. But I guess he didn't turn around in time. I think I'm trying a little bit too hard now, so the natural flow of dodging isn't happening. Like, I'm forcing it rather than letting it just happen. I also feel like they're spawning more enemies now. I feel like the stage is suddenly very crowded. And I don't know if I'm just getting bad RNG suddenly, or if the more you unlock, the more they start spamming. But it really feels like there was a lot in that round. Just kind of all over the damn place in Stage 1. Which is not a bad thing, because Stage 1 was a little sparse half the time. But I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about that change. That may or may not have actually occurred. I wonder if there would be something up there. Because you can get additional jumps, so there is a chance there might be something there for if you have that. Yeah, it seems like if you go through a full combo or so with Red properly, he ends up getting his ultimate back already. Yeah, I think the other thing that's throwing me off is the fact that I don't have the ridiculous cooldown reduction I had the last good run I had with Red. So everything feels off. Which is just something I'm gonna have to adapt to. We're actually... No, I can't warp back, but I'll go back. Because there was a spot that I didn't go to. And I feel like there might be something there. Thankfully, you do move pretty quick in this game, so it's not the biggest issue to go back. No, it was just a room with 3 enemies. Well, that was a waste. Oh well. Only way to find out was by doing it. Chop, yeah. Predator amongst his prey. Let's just keep going this way. We can warp back, almost certainly. Now this is the boss door, so we are gonna go back the other way immediately. Probably should have left that heal crystal for once we got there the other way around. Oh, too late. Yeah, especially if it's gonna be another one of these hallways that are just full of nasty business. Doesn't help that I'm getting my icons crossed, so I keep thinking that second one's my dash, where it's actually the first one. Hitting an enemy with a basic attack increases your crit chance. It just... Oh my god. So it's just constantly stacking crit chance. Disgusting. Combined with the chain blades, that would just get insane. You thought you were gonna fucking trap me with that, you bastards. I mean, it's bad enough you just keep sticking me in tunnels with these goddamn chargers. But you also tried to fucking beam me in a goddamn tiny tunnel. I feel like the more you unlock, they are definitely making these stages harder. Which makes sense. They have to make the game stay difficult, but I feel like maybe make that something the player chooses instead of just like, hey, there's a hidden stat that's fucking you. Right now it very much feels like, hey, you're playing more getting better, but also get wrecked. So how far does this keep going when we found the boss room back over there? Jesus. Just look at the amount of shit everywhere. Like, did I just find, like, some kind of secret uber hard mode path or something that I'm destroying myself with? Or am I just being stupid? So I could genuinely see either of those being the case. So there's a lot of these goddamn cannons, and I hit the wrong button. Just for those wondering why I jumped in front of the cannon, I meant to hit the spin and hit the fucking jump instead.
Machina Blade. Character select.
I'm wondering if the universe is getting on my ass because I said that red wasn't that hard, or what? Also, that's why I was occasionally getting double dashes, because every third hit marks an enemy, and if I dash through a marked enemy, I get my dash back.
Red.
That's why sometimes it was going crazy and sometimes it wasn't. Ooh, critical hits make a burning wave. That sounds like fun. Definitely a rough game to be playing when you are, like, not fully awake. But I'm having a good time here. Now that it's starting to show its teeth a bit more, now I'm getting more into it. The more Agora at the rate I'm playing might be a fantastic idea. You get hit and freeze everything around you. The other option is I go back to my hero sombrero. Nah, let's use the hero sombrero and just be able to turbo spam. Don't have to be good if I can hit all the buttons all the time. I just really gotta stop hitting the wrong goddamn buttons. But you'll notice it plays very differently once I have more cooldown reduction. I'm just all over the damn place. Because his skills do so much damage compared to his basic attacks. The only threat I really end up with is when I start getting stuck in place a bit too much. And I start getting the shit shot out of me by the bats. Which I really should be prioritizing those down better than I have been. Go. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Let's just clean all that out. But see, as long as they don't sit around for a while, I can keep ahead of them enough to just keep clearing them out. And that also makes our combo go through the roof. I'm really liking all these stacking items. Especially considering we end up basic attacking a lot, even when we're throwing our skills all over the place. And now we get another item. Blue Bomber. Obviously the Mega Man reference. We'll read through that a little bit more in a second, now that our combo went down anyway. Use one of your basic skills, and your next basic attack will do area damage. Neat. Basically giving you charge shots. That big fight we were in, though, definitely cost me in terms of health. These bats are such a fucking menace. Like, I'm pretty sure if we calculated how much damage I've been taking, 90% of it would be from those fucking bats. I see you. See what you're doing. Very delayed, though, which is weird. I fucked up. I fucked up. I didn't die, though. I think Sound Alerts is just having a time. Damn it. I went in to try to dash through it, and I shouldn't have. I should have just waited. Steel bow. I guess maybe you get almost every item as a potential starter item?
Machina blade. Select your character.
We've been getting a lot of options. Destroying an enemy creates a wave that damages enemies caught. Ooh. That's got potential, too. Let's try it, because it's a flat damage bonus as well. Well, not a flat damage bonus, it's just a... It is, in fact, just a straight damage bonus, is what I'm more meant to say, since flat would just be the number go straight up. Whereas the percentage means everything else we gain will make it better as we go. Okay, yeah, they just explode now. See, when they said a wave, I thought it was going to be like a ground-riding wave going side to side, not the pulse that we're getting. The pulse is better, honestly. I'm happier with that. Sometimes I make it look like I know what I'm doing, and other times, oof. Well, that was a lucky guess on my part. I was betting there was going to be enemies there, and lo and behold, there were enemies where we landed. Nice. Zodiac armor, 5% health. Ooh, destroying an enemy gives a shield. Yes. Yes. They're realizing I need a crutch, and they are providing. Okay, that big laser does have a limit to its range. That's good to know. I dove the wrong way. Sad days. This shield is as much of a godsend as expected. Especially when combined with the combo shield that we keep getting. So I'm able to just go ape. There we go. And you just keep getting stronger if you can manage to keep your combo hitting 20. Since you seem to get an item every time your combo hits 20. For example, we got a free thorn mail that way. Those parts I need to drop down through are becoming the biggest slowdown we have. Damn it. I broke him, but I dropped him in the wrong spot. Damn it, there was a teleporter there instead of enemies. Ah well. Found a shop. Barbarian Helm. 10% health. Being near 3 or more enemies grants lifesteal and a buff to your defense and attack for a few seconds. Okay. Blue shell, 15% health. Whenever you stun an enemy, gain 25% ultimate charge. Very good. Dragon blood armor, 5% health. Getting hit by an enemy grants you a lifesteal buff for a short period of time. Yeah, we're taking that dragon blood armor. I'm more likely to get hit than be 3 or more enemies consistently. There are always a decent amount of enemies around, but it's guaranteed for me to get hit. Pretty much. Like, I have no illusions of saying that I'm some kind of crazy, unhittable winning machine. And not right now, anyway. I can be that on a good day, probably. Today ain't that day, though. Wrong button. Right, that's another thing, by the way. If I tap the jump button, the dive button you see me have twice, it'll drop the dive early. Which is very handy until you do it by accident. The fact that you can get hit by that blade while it's sitting there is about the only real dangerous thing this goddamn thing has. You kind of have to wait on that attack or you get hit. Ah, I forgot it had a third one. That one's on me. But we keep life-stealing instead, so really, it's only a benefit at this point for me to get hit by this thing. That was just me being an idiot, because I'm fucking around now. And we all know if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. There we go. We took a little bit of stupid damage there because I was testing ideas. And I really got myself in a bit of trouble there. Valkyrie helmet. 5% damage. Hitting with a basic attack heals a small amount of health. Thank you. You get the feeling the game wants me to win now? Because it's giving me a lot of lifesteal moves, and can't help but notice that that's really gonna play in my favor. And then I'm going to die anyway, like a fool. Now wait a minute. Hitting an enemy with basic attack heals a small amount. I wasn't getting health back even though I was seeing the green light going off. It seems to only give it to you when you kill with basic attacks, not when you're hitting. So I think that might be a misprint on the information for that thing. Which makes it infinitely less busted, which is fine, but slightly problematic. Also, that health might be temporary? What keeps giving me temporary health? I mean, I get that I'm getting the shield, but is that actually registering as health? Yeah, I'm noticing that too. I'm just not sure if that's the shield counting the number up, so it's counting as that? Yeah. The gray section is the shield. I'm just confused whether it's actually counting on the number or not, is what's fucking with me. It appears that it counts the shield as part of the actual health number. Because we had the shield popping up before we had the helmet. So that I understand. I'm trying to figure out what the lifesteal on the helmet's actually doing, because it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Okay, no, I got health that time, but I think that was from getting hit, not from the helmet. I feel like the helmet might just be Bubkiss. Because, like, if it was on every basic attack, I should be healing here, but you'll notice the health goes up for the shield, and then as the shield disappears, the number does go down. So the shield is definitely counting. Which is understandable, but not exactly ideal. That can get very confusing for your players. I actually took the fire damage on purpose because I knew it wasn't going to hurt much, and then I could use it for lifesteal. That laser, however, I don't want to get hit by, because that will hurt a lot. That back jump those little green guys do really sucks. Because that back jump does damage. And that's been what's ripping my health a new one occasionally. And I always forget that they have it. Which fucks me up more. The forgetting is my fault. The fact that they have that move is their fault. Whew. That got nasty. Nope, nothing there to land on. Oh well. I didn't even realize they had that kick. I don't think they've ever really used it. We are definitely only alive right now by virtue of that shield existing, though. If that shield wasn't there, we would have died a while ago. With the amount of damage I've been taking like a fool. One of these times I feel like that shield's gonna go away and we're just gonna fall over. Or that'll happen. I just get kicked in the face from a bad landing. Okay, we can start with the blue bomber now.
Machina blade. Select your character.
I have an idea. Now that we have some of these basic attack bonuses, I feel like Valerie will be a lot better than she was. Because, for example, with her already high fire rate, we can sit there and just keep stacking higher and higher fire rate for her. Which could work. Giving her area damage on her shots would also be very good. Oh right, we don't actually have the other one. The one that has stacking flat damage would actually be incredible for her. But I have an idea. And as usual, may as well test this idea. She's also... Oh, right, because we got the 10 flat damage from the item to begin with. I was about to say, she's also doing a lot more damage suddenly. Yeah, this is what she needed. She needed just a little bit more actual damage. Because otherwise you have to sit there and kite things a little too long for the way these stages are designed. And now they're giving me no targets again. She definitely requires being more attentive than the other two do, though. You almost have to use your 2 extra gun skills as counters rather than as active attacks to keep yourself alive. Since they've got, at the very least, the shotgun, for example, has incredibly high brakes, so you can just knock an enemy out of the air with it. Or stun them before they start something. Yeah, this is feeling better than she did before, by a long shot, because she actually has some killing power straight out the gate instead of relying on finding something good. Of course, the other answer is she might have been intended to be more reliant on allies. Have somebody in between her and an opponent, or pretty much. Which would make sense for a ranged character. I meant to fire the shotgun and then flip, but I flipped too slow. So you'll notice one mistake and half our health is gone. So, still very risky. But then again, that's the ranged playstyle is glass cannon. Let's just get rid of that on the note of cannon. She can rack up the kill count, though, since she has so much range. Just listen to that attack speed go. Being near 3 or more enemies buffs your attack. Okay. Not gonna be the biggest thing for her, I think, because we're not gonna want to be near enemies, but we can make it work if we really want to. Let's see. Chrono Activator, 5% crit chance, dealing a critical hit to an enemy instantly reduces all cooldowns. Okay. Golden Axe, 30% damage, hitting an enemy with a basic attack buffs your attack. Oh my. That's probably the one. Frostborn Sword, 20% damage, hitting them applies damage over time. Give. They had me at 30% damage, and then they had me more at stacking damage buff. I didn't hit them both with the shotgun. I thought I had a clean blast there to hit both. Let's grab this. Kingdom Blade. Yeah, we've had this before. Very good item, though. Fire away. Get out of range of that. Dodge you. We might not make it through this stage still, though, because we are taking real stupid damage learning how this idea works out. Because there's, of course, yet again, that adaptation period where I'm like, okay, I'm playing something completely different now. What am I doing? There's some strong potential with this setup. You show that air. Ah, I timed that jump wrong. This is such different positioning than the other two, so it's fucking with me a bit, too. Under. Some shooting. Ah. Like, I actually have to deal with the spread on that a bit. There we go. We still won the first round, though. We just have 1 health left, so it's not ideal. Hades Laurels, 5% health every time you jump, become invulnerable to enemy attacks for a brief moment. Okay. That could actually be huge as long as it actually works as advertised. But with 14 health going into stage 2, I think we're dead. I think we're screwed. I also keep forgetting that there's a shot associated with that backflip that I could be using. God damn it. I keep seeing those teleporters and I'm like, it's an enemy, kill it. Kill it, crush it, put it in a stew. I hit the wrong button. I don't know why they have the evasive moves on different buttons for each character. I feel like it should be laid out in a way that it's the same concept on each button for everybody to keep it clear. Like, whatever your defensive move is should be on the same button for each character. The rest, yeah, negotiable, but your defensive move really feels like it should be universal.
Machina Blade. Select your character.
But I guess it's more designed for you to, like, stick to a character and learn the character rather than bouncing around like I've been. Okay, freeze could be neat, but I feel like the chain blade idea was very good, but it might not be the exact thing I need for her. The crowbar's not exactly the big winner either. I could try critical chance with the amount of shots she puts out. Could work. This would be good if I could have more cooldown reduction immediately, but we don't have the cooldown reduction out the gate for that. The other option is we just go Hero Sombrero and just see how many shotgun blasts and such I can fire off wildly. But I'm thinking I stick with the chain blades. I think that is the right idea. We just needed more that actually paired with that. Which, the things we were getting were good. They just weren't necessarily synergistic. Should be more willing to use my damn skills too, because I keep hesitating sometimes for just like a frame. Like, what if I need this a second from now instead of now? And then I get hit, and it's like, well, I needed it now, didn't I? Because the recharge time on them is just long enough to be a problem, but not so long that it's prohibitive to use. So I really should be using it more. Even if it doesn't necessarily pair with the build entirely to be interrupting my own basic attacks. Oh, there was two of them stacked on top of each other. Okay. I was wondering why it didn't get broke the second I hit it with the blast, because usually they do at that range. And then I realized there's two of them. Well, isn't this unfortunate for you? Go. I don't know why sometimes I'm hitting it and sometimes I'm not. That's a little weird. Read the rest of what Dragon Claw does in a moment. Nope, lost the combo. What does that do? Ah, whenever you use a base skill, buff your attack speed for a few seconds. More speed! These aren't pistols, they're machine guns. And then you add on top of that the buff to attack speed from the combo ratings. And it's just getting stupid. And that is what I'm here for. Damn it, she didn't turn around. I did press the button for her to turn around, but it just wasn't quick enough, I think. Edward Arm, 5% HP, getting hit by an enemy puts out a wave of armor damage. Very good. Bang, 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 bang. I do like the amount of little references and such they've packed this with. They're not all of them are like wildly obvious, which is always good, because it gets a little when it's like, oh yeah, it's this thing. It's very blatantly this thing. BIA, 20% cooldown reduction using one of your base skills, buffs your... Another one that buffs my attack speed when I use a skill? Oh boy. It's a pity I'm, like, gonna die here, but, you know. Yeah, because I couldn't stop him in time, even without the shield. I just did not have the stopping power for that. Oh, we can start with the Frostborn. That could be good. I'm liking where these builds are going. These are fun. They're not exactly super efficient, but they're fun. Let's try these damage over time bullets. That could work. And she just gets, you know, the 20% bonus to begin with, so... Definitely slower, but if we get some of the other stuff we were seeing, I think this will work well. We're just gonna feel a pretty hefty hit because we don't have that flat bonus right out the gate. There's the lifesteal armor. It is a pity that the frostbite doesn't slow things down at all. But I suppose that would be ridiculous if it did damage and slowed. Oh, he got an attack off. Bastard. Bastard, man. I disagree that that didn't hit. was sloppy on my part. Nope. Keep that combo alive. Ideally keep the me alive too, but I'm negotiable on that part in some ways. Okay, lifesteal is pretty good for her, because she, of course, still fires off a lot of hits, so her hits don't give her a lot of health each, but it stacks a lot. And she's only got the one skill that makes her move, but she does at least have enough move speed to kind of make it work. It's just a very tactical movement instead of spammy, bounce all over the room movement. I still feel like I'm missing something with how her moves work, too. I may want to reread her kit after this attempt. Because there's something with that B button pistol shot that I'm not quite understanding, I think. Just getting a weird feeling from that, like I'm missing something. I'm missing dodging those saw blades, I know that much. That was overkill, I know. Made me feel better, though. Yeah, I think that is one other problem I'm noticing with this, is turning around sometimes can be a problem. Like, it doesn't always take the input if you're in the middle of doing something else. Which, it's understandable that you wouldn't be able to turn around while attacking, for example. There's just, like, a tiny delay after you finish that you still can't do the input, and that's where it becomes a problem. Yeah, but you know, sometimes I get 2 shots with the pistol, and that's what's fucking with me. Because I also see, like, this weird, like, reload thing pop up, and I'm wondering if that's what that means. Ooh, there's the flat damage buff. Ooh. This is also really good, though. This also... I want all of these, but I don't have the money for all of these. This is the safest one of the choices. The fact that the flat damage will keep scaling. If I had more of a crit chance already, I would go for the crit chance one and then just sit there and get guaranteed constant crit, but that's just not how that's gonna work. We might get enough money from the boss to grab another one, though, because we don't have to leave immediately. And if we do, then I'll grab the crit one. Yeah, that stacking flat damage is actually getting pretty crazy. That is not the direction I input there, but okay, video game. I get that you're losing and you want to try to do something about it. Yeah, no, this is pretty much the exact pair of items I wanted, which was the flat damage and the attack speed one. Emergency pistol's pretty helpful, and we did not get nearly as much money as I hoped. Oh wait, no, we don't actually have the attack speed one, though. Which is, of course, why we managed to find the butterfly sword. That now makes perfect sense. Not sure how to feel about those keyboard and mouse controls they're showing either. Since there's no aiming, I'm a little confused why they put the controls on the mouse. Unless you can, like, actually, like, 360 aim when you're using the mouse, and I'm like, that would be way too much of an advantage, so I don't know why that would be a thing. So I don't think that is true. This scaling damage is fantastic. Especially since we can even scale it up on a crystal. But there's no targets that close to a crystal, so it's not the most effective thing. But paired with that damage over time, it's actually doing pretty well. Go. Those saw blades continue to be the worst thing, though, because they can come from so many fucking wacky angles because of where the bats just happen to be. And I'm too busy dealing with other things to notice them. And case in point of them just coming out suddenly, even though it looks like it's stunned, it just goes, nope, saw blade. Meh. You thought you were winning? No. Fuck you. Fuck you and you're winning. Didn't want to burn it there, but I had to, otherwise we were gonna die. Your shield will break eventually. There you go. And that again is exactly what I mean. They could be getting pummeled and ding, saw blade. That is genuinely kind of frustrating with those.
Machina Blade. Character select. Valerie.
What does this gun do? Yep. Yep. Permanently increase my attack speed. Yes.
Get ready.
Yes. Now, if I could just also get multiple scaling attack speed bonuses, I'm just trying to break the system at this point. For those out there wondering, yes, I am just trying to break the way attack speed works at this point. Which really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Especially since this will be a bonus that I don't have to take an extra risk to take advantage of, pretty much, because it'll just be a permanent buff. I really do wonder if the game actually reads the character you chose and puts things in such a way that you will have a disadvantageous position for that character. It really does feel that way with this so far. Because you notice we kept getting all those cramped hallways when we were playing Red. Now we're getting weird corners that you can't really take advantage of shot angles from. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's actually intended design. I would actually be somewhat impressed if it was intended design, even if it is kind of annoying. Also, I think I said I was going to read her kit again, and I forgot. I remembered the second I was having that question pop in my brain again of why is something doing this? Because, like, her cooldown reduction, reload, and everything is ridiculous some of the time, and I don't know what's causing the difference. I was expecting him to get a saw blade now, and then I was gonna be real sad. Damn it! I thought I outranged it because I couldn't see it for that one frame where I landed there. Okay, this just means I get to read what I wanted to read.
Machina blade. Select your character.
Valerie can cast a skill for free after doing 8 close-range basic attacks. Ah! Okay, it's a matter of I have to be close to targets. That's what's causing that. Okay. Because sometimes we're real close and sometimes we're not, and that's what's making that weird.
Valerie.
Okay. And I think the Death Bracelet is a good choice. We just need to be able to actually capitalize on it. Which I was making too many weird choices for us to really get anywhere with that idea. Sometimes I just have these great ideas, and I move well, and then other times I'm like, I'm gonna stand here and eat shit, yeah! And then I die. Nice. Play grenade, we'll look at what that does in a minute. Destroy 10 enemies, create a damage aura around you for a few seconds. Okay. Not the best. Especially not for Valerie, considering we don't want to be close to things, but... inevitably, we're going to be close to things, so it'll work out. Okay, since they were off screen, that doesn't actually hit them. That is something I wanted to confirm. Even if it wasted a super, it was better to verify that. Because otherwise that was going to come back to haunt me later anyway. Also, I might have a weird double input situation, because sometimes I'm noticing I'm jumping when I'm pressing the bullet hit on B. Jump, of course, being A. But it may also be the A button on this controller being a little weird. Because it definitely is. I knew I took a big risk to get that chest. I went down there too early. That's on me entirely on that one. Fix my mistakes. Thornmail. Good enough. And Companion Cube. 5% crit chance. Dealing a critical hit to an enemy. He creates a wave that heals you and your allies. Nice. I wonder what it's like having allies. Which that is one unfortunate thing, is the multiplayer for this is local only. You could probably remote play it, but I don't know how well that would work. Like, that would be very internet connection, distance, and everything dependent, I would feel. But definitely good potential. Just don't know what the reality would be. Definitely not something I would toy with now while I'm streaming because of the fact that the connection would get even worse at that point. We are too poor. We know what all those things are, though. Damn it. Teleporting seems to instantly end your combo, so I couldn't, like, warp away to find a target. Damn it. That was weird. One of my skills was on cooldown without me using it. Unless I really fumbled buttons that hard, but I don't think I did. I mean, it wouldn't be impossible. I've definitely done major button fumble before. But I feel like I didn't fumble that specifically. But who knows, maybe reflexes kicked in and I didn't realize that it happened. Because that has definitely happened before. Yeah, my dodge keeps ending up on cooldown unexpectedly, and it's weird. They are both left and right bumper are shotgun moves. I wonder if maybe they're on a joint cooldown, even though I've used them. No, I definitely just witnessed a weird thing with my cooldowns there. I pressed B, and my dodge went on cooldown. Instead of the B button move. Fucking weird. I might have found a bug, or I'm literally just so tired that I'm getting that confused. Which, with the amount I slept last night, I would not be surprised if I'm just that confused. Hey, we got the companion cube permanently. That could actually be fantastic.
Machina Blade. Character select.
Which, actually,
Red.
with some of the new stuff we've got, we might want to try red again. Huh. I don't know how to cycle downward without the mouse. That's a little weird. So I tried doing what you'd expect, which is scroll all the way to the bottom using, like, the D-pad or the stick. It doesn't do that. And right stick doesn't do it either. It might be bumpers? No, bumpers don't do it either. I don't know how... Oh, you have to be in line with something down there for it to work. Okay, that makes a degree of sense. Yeah, what I'm considering is this companion cube for red could be fantastic. Since he's close to targets all the time, the wave would guaranteed hit for him. Though, it would work for Tristan as well. Is there any other ones of these that are newer that would work for him? The attack speed would be nice as well. But I think we'll try red with the companion cube, because it'll help keep him alive. Now I just gotta adjust back to red again. We've already seen the cube fire off once or twice, though, so there's a logic following on what I did there. So there's potential. And even skill hits can crit, so that works too. Of course, watch, we're never gonna get a crit after we actually take damage, so it's gonna suddenly become useless to me, and I'm gonna be sad. It doesn't heal for a lot, but that's also expected, honestly. It is definitely being beneficial, though, because it's holding our health higher than it would be with how I'm playing normally. These fucking bats, though. My god. They are literally the entire missing health bar for red, as usual. I really need to focus on those when I see them, rather than getting lost in what I'm doing on the ground and getting hit in the head. This health restoration is definitely paying dividends. It's a very good counterbalance to me playing like absolute trash right now. That's a lot of enemies down there. You'll notice we got one of those tight corridors again, the second we switched. Though we have actually gotten it once or twice with Valerie as well, just not as many times. So I don't know if it's a coincidence or not still. As much for my own entertainment value, I think I might just call it shenanigans either way. Okay, so the boss is over there. Is this gonna be another one of those turbo long hallways of death over here? Like it was the other time? Nah. I'm being an idiot and taking stupid damage. But that's, you know, business as usual, really. And when I use my ultimate, I really should just start dashing like a crazy person, since I can get away with that. Because every hit marks things, and if you dash through a marked enemy, as I mentioned before, you get your dash back. So I can just be constantly dashing. You know, till I end up fucking burning the dash before I have it. There's the Valkyrie helmet again. Let's see if it was just a bad interaction between items that was fucking that up. It might be. Because now I'm getting 1 health every time I hit something. So I think that was the problem, is items were interacting in a way that made it weird. Is this, as you can see, definitely working now? But it was showing the visual effect as well, it just wasn't popping the little green ones over my head and raising my health bar. Slow enemies with a critical. Freeze enemies with a critical. I'm torn between these two. Cooldown reduction would be lovely, but the extra damage would also be good. But we've already got a couple things giving me healing / lifesteal, so let's take the Kingdom Blade. Oh, what now? Discord's popping a bunch of stuff. Ah, okay. Discord's just losing its mind a little bit, don't mind me. Just clearing the big notifications just so that number goes away. Because that might get a bit distracting. Weird that those knives are just kind of stuck there now. Oh, there we go. They used them up. So that's actually kind of neat that the knives will stay there so they can use them on the next attack. So that actually started to look a little bit intended after first glance on that one. Matter, can't figure out where I am. That's fine, neither can I. I think we got through that one without being touched. Maybe we got hit once? Okay, 10 enemies killed also makes a healing wave now. Give me all that healing. Yeah, you'll notice even the enemies we fought in the last stage have more health in this stage. Which can be another thing that might throw you off if you're not super mindful. I love it. Yeah, so far those spike leg things and the bats are the two most dangerous enemies in this game, I swear. At least for me. And the spike legs are just because they don't really get bothered by much, and then they just kick you in the face. Interesting. I dashed through enemies that were marked, and they didn't give me back my dash. Guess maybe I didn't... I don't know. I'm not gonna question it too much. It's not gonna make sense probably either way. God damn, all these healing moves and everything, and I'm still taking more damage than I'm gaining. Because just of how much shit is going on in this area all the time. The fact that the shield protects the enemies even when it's not the shield guy that I'm attacking, it still protects anything that's got the shield between me and it. Which is good design, but it's really annoying. Like, that is design that makes sense, but I don't have to be happy about it. Like, full credit, that actually makes complete sense. But the shield would get in the way. With that positioning. But man, can it throw you off real bad. I've screwed this up royally, and it's a problem. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. We're not dead. Mostly. Yet. So if I keep running into that, I'm going to be. All the health out of his body. Ow. I meant to dodge, but brain went, oh yeah, you can just walk through him, it'll be fine. And technically the brain was not wrong. But technically brain was not right either. My biggest mistake I'm making now, I think, is I'm miscalculating whether something will die before it hits me or not. And I've really just got to stop taking that risk until I know better. But that's never going to change. I'm going to keep making that mistake. Until I know better. Which is why crutch items like the companion cube are going to be what I'm going to need to rely on. Things I didn't need to do. Go piss off everything down there, too. Things I did anyway. Piss off everything down there. It'd also be beneficial for me to remember that I can do that short hop instead of the big launch jump. Ooh. Okay, we got boss fight over here. Let's save that green crystal for actually doing the boss fight. Let's see what's over here. Because I'm kind of hoping there'll be a shop, because we've actually got a bunch of money. Okay, that's just rude. He was just chilling there waiting to fucking kick me in the face. Oh no. You are not killing me that easy, you little bastards. Really thought I was done for on that one. That was bad. There it is. Fucking kick again. I should have just kept moving instead of stopping to fight them. That one's my mistake. That was getting really good, though.
Machina Blade. Select your character.
So far, we've only made it out of stage 2 with Tristan. Because he's just so steady and simple to keep alive.
Red.
And I keep just stubbornly going, nope, I'm gonna keep using red. Haha. Ooh. We got 2 weapons. Deal extra bonus armor damage when you critically hit and increase your crit chance. These 2 would pair phenomenally well. Because you keep scaling critical chance with the bonus and keep increasing the odds of getting the heal. And Conqueror's Helmet's all well and good, but I don't think that's anything mind-blowing there. Though the Conqueror's Helmet would pair well with the White Mantle. Like, I'm seeing all of these great builds, we're just not getting any of the parts of them together at the same time. That's what's really killing me right now, is I just cannot get these pieces in the same place at the same time. It's like, there is some busted stuff I can see happening here. It just hasn't happened. Let's try the White Mantle again, though. Now that I'm starting to get back in the groove of not just crashing face first into damage. Especially since I understand how my dash works a little bit better now. Which I think I started to figure out before, and then just didn't actively realize it, so brain didn't process it in a meaningful way. Like I just showed there's some ridiculous things you can do. Ooh. Extra damage and get cooldown reduction whenever I use a skill. Which I am very skill spammy, so that works out nicely for me. Now, I was a little bit down on this game initially because of how simple it felt. Now that I've got more tools at my disposal, it's definitely gotten better, and I am very happy to have spent the $2 I spent on this. I would have probably been willing to pay up to 10 for this, I think. For how short it is and the fact that there's only 3 characters and their movesets are pretty simple, that lowers it in value a little bit to me. But it's very good at what it does. So full credit for that. And I know I basically said that earlier, but I'm just reaffirming that now that I've played it more. Because I was genuinely worried that I was going to have to swap games a bunch today because I wasn't really going to feel this that well. But now it's looking like this is probably going to hold up for at least a decent bit. I'm still not sure if I want to do this the full stream. But then again, this is also probably going to be a kind of short stream since I, as mentioned before, barely got any sleep last night. Red? Red? Help? I did a thing. I don't know how I did that. Well, correction, I think I do know how I did that. How I would repeat that, though, I'm not sure. Because what I think happened is right as I hit that very bottom corner there with my jump, he got stuck in the frame of finishing the dive, but kept moving forward. So he slid across the whole room, hit the wall, and just like, ah. Because that's why using the dash broke me out of it. Is because you can use the dash in the air, whereas the rest of my inputs weren't working. Because I was not in the correct movement state to be able to do something else. I obviously could have broke out of that quicker, because I thought of using the dash immediately, but I was dying too much watching that happen to really do anything about it immediately. But I might need to go grab that and post that moment in particular, unless somebody wanted to clip that for me and happened to catch it in time. Yeah, I wasn't doing enough evading. So I think the white mantle idea still doesn't quite work. I think the cube is more consistent.
Machina blade. Select your character. Red.
Since I personally don't have to do anything specific to get the critical hits. I just have to keep hitting. So we'll go back to the companion cube plan. He needs something that will heal him. Otherwise, he doesn't sustain. Because the other option is I just get that much better at this game, and I don't think I'm getting that much better at this today. If I keep at this, I can get there, probably. I just don't think today is going to be the day where I suddenly get good. And as usual, my main issue is I'm too aggressive. And I understand this. And that is not going to change. Which is why I'm working on ways to work around the fact that I'm very aggressive. And give myself leeway in that. Which this game's kind of built around being aggressive because of the combo system anyway. They encourage you to go full tilt and crush your way through the problems you have. But of course, it's got to be balanced by actually being able to survive doing it. Which is the part they expect you to figure out. You're basically, you know, handed the tools and expected to use them. Which is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to figure things out on your own. Which is why it's not a problem that this game doesn't have a tutorial, because this game's real simple. At face value, at the very least. Getting good at it, as I've mentioned, is not going to be that simple. But that's also how games should be. They should be easy to understand, but hard to do well with. I was mostly using that just to trigger the cube more. Makes you unstoppable for a few seconds. Looks like a Captain Falcon helmet if I had to hazard a guess. And I do like the clang noise these shield guys make when they hit the walls. That's always fun. You don't hear it often because I'm usually flailing around so much that it's drowned out by ching 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 ching. But it's definitely there. Which reminds me, there's actually one settings thing I would like to point out. Player volume and enemy volume being on separate sliders. Very much approve of that. Just want to point that out. I meant to point that out a while ago, and then I just started going wild and didn't think of it. Using your ultimate heals you and nearby allies. Yes? I like the idea of the Warp Blade, but... and the Dragon Blood armor, but we use our ult a lot, and getting more ult charge also means we'll be able to use it more, and then we'll be able to heal more. It all fits together. It's also a pretty significant heal. 60 health is nothing to sneeze at. Especially when you add on to the fact that we're most likely going to trigger at least a few hits of the companion cube out of that as well. I thought we had more off cooldown than I did. I should have looked before I leaped. Then again, half of the damage I've taken would have been avoided if I looked before I leaped. Just fuck that guy in particular, apparently. Dang it, I was trying to keep the combo going. We did get to the boss with full health, though, so that's nice. I think the plan is working somewhat. Now it's just a question of how well will it work against the boss. Which this boss in particular is not super threatening, as we've discussed before. That's gotta be so annoying. It's like, aha, I got you, and you're behind me. I got you, now you're behind me. I got you, oh, you're behind me. God damn it. Over and over and over and over again. Yeah, no. We can tear that boss apart. Or with Red. That isn't even a boss anymore. Okay. That works. Definitely like the golden claws, and extra health is actually a really good thing. I think I needed to play a game like this lately. It's been a bit since I played a good one of these. There's a lot of the newer ones that are being made trend toward being slower rather than faster. And there's a lot of them that also feel a bit spammy in terms of the enemy amounts. so they don't quite feel right. This, while it feels rough in places, not in good ways, at least it's giving me the ability to counterbalance it in ways I can work with. So I did pick up another good game in this vein that I keep forgetting I have, that I might show off before we're done here today, or it might end up being shown off another day. Depends on how I feel by the time we're done with this one. Because this might just be a 3-hour special today. Between kind of throwing something together last minute because uncertainty with collab or no collab, which, by the way, for those who didn't see on Twitter, we are not going to be doing another collab between me and Xeno at the very least until next month. There's just things going on, complications here, there. Everything's fine, just can't really do it right now. Not gonna go into detail on that whole score, because it's not things that need to be said that much. Just, this is the situation we're in right now. I will be looking into bringing other people in for Fridays, but I make no promises that anything will actually happen. So, there's that. I do have a couple people in mind, and potentially things will work, but I need to talk to them before I promise anything. As you know, I can't promise other people's time. That would be unreasonable. Might also just start doing some odds and ends things on Fridays, or bring back Fall Guys or something for some community nights or something. Either way, we'll make something happen on Fridays either way. Wow, we went from fine to holy fuck very suddenly here because I got distracted for just a second. And we're dead. Dog came flying through the pile, because I didn't even see it. Captain Headwear. Chrono Activator. Have we seen the Chrono Activator? I don't recognize that one.
Machina Blade. Select your character.
Oh, we have seen that, but we didn't actually ever use it. This could be a winner, actually. It won't heal us or keep us alive, but it will let us just keep looping our skills. Hang on. There might be an idea here. Considering one of my many problems is that my skills keep ending up on cooldown at the wrong time. So anything that counters them needing to be on cooldown at all can be huge. Though realistically, I should probably just use the damn Hero Sombrero for that purpose as a starting item. But I want to add variety to what I'm doing, which is why I keep trying new items, even if some of them backfire horribly. There we go, that went smoothly. Not what I was expecting to find, but I'll take it. Oh, hey. Okay. That's actually pretty good. I would probably want the Barbarian Helm out of what's in here, though the Hayabusa Scarf would be quite nice, too, for that buff every time I'm running between fights. We're gonna lose this combo because we're gonna have to teleport. Because even if we ran back, we weren't gonna have the time. That looked really cool, but I don't think was the most efficient move I could have made there. I have fucked up real bad here. This is why I was worried about not having any means of healing, is the reckless play I'm doing put me in a real awkward spot here. I was hoping we were going to get items to counterbalance my recklessness. But I suppose that was inherently reckless as well. There we go. But I do feel the energy starting to give out, so we'll probably stop at the 3-hour mark, even though that's a bit of a short one. I'm losing the focus to actually be able to keep the commentary flowing. Which basically means the content's gonna fall apart. And that's no good for anybody.
Machina Blade. Character select. Red.
Don't really want to keep doing the same thing over and over again either, though. Bringing the companion cube every time is just gonna get boring. I could try playing around with the freezing axe. There's potential in that thought. Actually, I'm gonna try the area effect basic attacks, because I do spam my skills a lot, as we've established. We'll see how much the area damage actually does for us. Because we do end up with a lot of problems because of crowds. Okay. We might have something there. Okay. The extra health will be handy. Yeah, that area damage is cleaning the smaller stuff up nicely. Because I can set them up with a dash and then plow through them with the area damage. To get the most of it, I would have to change up my attack timing a little bit, but even just using it just by it happening to work out, it's doing some pretty good work for me here. Bullet? I saw something about critical chance. Oh, dropped the timing anyway. Evading an incoming attack permanently increases your critical chance. I see. So you're saying I can accidentally increase my critical chance to incredible heights. You got it. I say accidentally because I would very rarely say I evade on purpose. As much as evading on purpose would be the idea, it's very rarely actually happening because I meant to do it. And then, of course, you know, the quick bullet's also giving us more cooldown reduction, which is going to be lovely. Like, we've got incredible glass cannon status going right now. I misjudged my positioning, so that shield ate so much of that. Otherwise, that probably would have destroyed him before it was a problem. Off my attack when I'm near enemies. We've seen that. We have seen all of these. We also just barely can't afford it, so it's useless to me anyway. Does not matter that the shop exists. Man too poor to buy things from shop. I thought I dashed quick enough. Turns out I did not. Hey, we ironically enough got the quick bullet. Huh. That's a thought. I wonder if earning enough gold for the unlock actually unlocks one of the items you had as a starter item. Or if the pool is just happening to line up.
Machina blade. Character select. Red.
That's a thought. I don't know if those are just happening to line up conveniently or not. Now, I don't think the quick bullet is gonna work for red as a starter item. It might actually work for Valerie. Because I've managed to get some good evades with her. The area damage was good, but I don't think that's what I needed. Now that we've played a bit more, let's go back to the Hero Sombrero and see if we can actually get further with the crazy cooldown reduction we're going to have from that. As you notice, I can just, like, do almost every attack as a skill attack instead of basic attacks. That's how ridiculous this cooldown gets. Allowing me to just do absurd burst damage. Problem is, I'm not actually sustaining, as is continually the problem. So all I'm doing is sitting there taking damage, and learning nothing. You'll also notice I'm getting a lot more evades to actually happen because I almost always have my dash available. Because that's what kills a lot of my evades, is the fact that I keep not having the thing I need for my evade off cooldown. That's not to say we still can't end up with that situation as you saw there, because I managed to not have anything off cooldown. And we got shredded as a result of it. Yep. Fucking saw blades. I think I need to change characters again.
Mocking a blade.
I think I'm starting to wall myself trying to get too greedy with red now. Recast to detonate shields, become immune and counter the first attack. Grants unstoppable and extra hits after 3 attacks is what the drill's bonus thing does. Okay.
Tristan.
We haven't been Tristan in a long while, and we have a lot of tools to potentially make him do ridiculous things now. Let's think. What can we make him do? Because we used him with the White Mantle, and that's what kept healing him when he was using his counter. But what I can do is tie that with the Conqueror's Helmet instead, and reduce all of his cooldowns every time he counters. Is his punch does an asinine amount of damage, but it's kind of slow on the cooldown. So what I can do is use the counter to recharge his punch much faster. Is the basic theory behind the current plan. Because he does a lot of armor damage natively as well, so he breaks enemies left and right. I'm just gonna need to remember I don't have a dodge anymore. Right bumper to block. That's it. But he, as you see there, can just flatten a team of enemies. Make Big Man real aggressive. And even if we don't actually get the counter, you'll notice that counted as an evade. And it seems to reduce its own cooldown with that as well. Which is phenomenal. That punch just does such stupid damage. This is very silly. I feel like I needed this after the amount of face planning we were doing with red. Just a jolly old big boy stabby run. The sheer break force this lance has is just absurd. Like, I can definitely see why Tristan's listed as the easiest character. His kit has a bunch of stuff going on, but it's just so strong. And the fact that he has self-healing built in is huge for him. Come on. Idiot. Like, just following that counter with a punch takes out almost anything in terms of regular enemies. It's so silly. Increase your armor damage. When you stun an enemy, buffs your attack speed for a few seconds. Okay. Actually, yeah, let's grab that. Since we have a near guaranteed evade because of the counter. So we'll be charging his self-heal ultimate all the time. Why can't I attack anymore? That was weird. I'm encountering more bugs the longer I've been playing this, too, which is, you know, not particularly surprising for me. Heal back up, and then we'll go ahead and start using these other guys to recharge our ultimate. What do we got? Ooh, the Behemoth Cannon. Not really the best for him, I think, but... yeah, there's definitely some buggery happening. So I'm pretty confident I pressed the button in time and it just didn't give it to me. Then again, maybe I did cut it just like a hair too close, maybe? I don't know. Heal up. Like, it's not a massive heal, but the more I can keep using that, the more ridiculous this is gonna get. And if I can get that item that makes using my ultimate heal me on top of that, we'll be indestructible. Like, that's just gonna break the game at that point, just about. As long as we can get any kind of reliable damage on top of that, that is. Drill, baby, drill. Nope, fuck you. You thought you were gonna hit me. I hit you. That's how this works. I think I gained health out of that fight. Oh, there we go. Let's freeze enemies too. Why not? Yeah, at the rate this run is moving, I think this will be final run. Because I think this will actually last a little bit. As long as I don't magnificently fumble at some point. which is entirely possible, and honestly not out of the realm of possibility. I realized I just said something incredibly redundant there. Just ignore that. As I mentioned, kind of falling apart a bit. Go. Yeah, these counters are just so strong. Like, I haven't even used my ult because we're actually at full health right now. And I didn't even need to worry about taking that hit because now we're going to just fully heal. We didn't actually fully heal, but close enough. The point stands that you want low effort, you play Tristan and you get this shit going, because this is ridiculous. You missed the counter, just punch the problem out of the air. It's not a problem anymore. Imagine if I got him some more cooldown reduction and I could just punch permanently. Just engage largest fucking fist. Every couple seconds, lightning will strike a nearby enemy. Killing an enemy will increase the frequency. Huh. Okay. Destroy 10 enemies to heal. This is cooldown reduction, so I'm taking that. I was very tempted by this for the constantly scaling flat damage, but I think the cooldown reduction will be funnier. Just look at how long I can keep things stunned for. It just doesn't matter. They don't get to play anymore. This is the no fun zone build now. They didn't want me to have fun, so now no one gets to have fun. Everyone dies. No fun allowed. Yes, I did counter just in case I landed in the laser. Shields are nothing to me. Only I may have shields. Yeah, see, if I just go diving crazily into the middle of them, then I start to actually take damage. And even then, they can't really do much to me. Because all it'll mean is, oh no, I have to use my ult in a minute. And then I'll fix it. Oh, there we go. Now I'm starting to get too greedy. Once again, big shield guy is a problem. I'm fucking around just a little bit too much now. Because the little bit of laughing to myself I was doing there caused me to actually miss the parry. Go ahead and heal back up a bit. We are getting great combos, and that's the one kind of weak point to this current way I'm doing things. I'm stopping a lot to use the heal. It's boss time. Once again, we're gonna get to stage 3 with Tristan. Unless we somehow screw up fighting this thing, which this one is a little nasty compared to the first boss. So I could actually die to this. One poke and he's like, oh god, I gotta fall down now. I'll take the hit from that instead of the bigger hit. I can thankfully use all the bouncing orbs he's got going around to actually counter as well. Yeah, this is actually a lot more of a fight this time. I timed that wrong, otherwise I probably could have countered that. Actually, that might be one that can't be countered. That would make sense. Then again, you can counter for his big laser like that, so who knows? And we win. That got dicey, though. That actually was a tougher fight. There we go. Now our first hit, like a lance should be, is real good. Take a quick second to check something. Specifically, okay, yeah. Wanted to make sure that nothing went wrong as far as the bitrate and everything goes, because I could definitely see some of the moves I was making with this game consume the bitrate. But it seems like it held up okay, and I haven't dropped any frames. So we should be good. And I haven't seen anybody screaming, oh god, my eyes, or anything, so that's probably a good sign. The amount stronger things get in this stage, though, I think we might be in trouble. I don't know if we're making it past this one. At the very least, I'm gonna have to start actually playing the game again, instead of fucking around. Is there something up there? I'm noticing there's a tucked-in ledge here. Nope, nothing.
So you have chosen death.
Maybe. They've certainly tried to choose it for me. Does that count? That was a mistake. Countering that worked out up until I still had red spikes up my ass. I'm not sure why that wasn't making contact. That was a little weird. Thank you for the free cooldown. And that seems to be the counter to these shuriken guys, is just to give them the mega punch in the face so that they can't throw their shuriken around. Because when they break, their shuriken falls out of the air, it seems. Which is very handy, considering that's one of the bigger problems we were having in this stage, was that shit flying around. Think you're getting away from me? You get back here. There is no escape. Dum-de-dum, da-da-da-da. Oh, it's big boy time again. I forgot all about these big bastards. I think we saw one of those much earlier in the stage last time we were here. And that's what's throwing me off with that one. Just drill a hole through the summoner, it's fine. Just go ahead and clean all of you out. Get my health back to the middle again. We seem to be holding at middle health, which is a bit of a problem. I would like to be holding higher than that. But at least we're not dead, so I guess I should take that and run with it. Not sure why that blade was still flying around. Its user was dead. I guess maybe they have to break for it to fall, not have them actually be dead. Which would be weird, but I guess it would make some sense. Just punch ball. Ball no work no more. Then again, I suppose I wouldn't work particularly well after getting punched with a fist the size of me either. Ow. Spikes are a problem. God damn, how many of those things can you throw, you little bastard? And we're dead. Well, we got further again. We at least saw stage 3. And we get the Hextor Shield. Starter pack slot 2. Hold up. Does that mean I can carry 2 things at the start now? Hang on. Hang on, we might need to do one more. Hang on. We might have something here. Yeah, I can carry... Wait. That just made me have a realization. Note the size of the UI down here for selected items. Does that mean this will eventually be full? And you can just start with like 7 things? Oh my. Also, appear to have broken it. There we go. Oh, right, the destroy 20 enemies, gain immunity thing. There's disgusting things we could do. There's very disgusting things we could do here. Because what we can do is we combine the Hero Sombrero with the Conqueror's Helmet, and everything is forever off cooldown. But I think I will actually stop. I'm gonna cut myself off there.
Machina blade.
Because otherwise that's gonna get out of hand. There's, like, ridiculous potential there, but I'm just not gonna go crazy. Because while that swung the energy back up a bit, I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna crash myself fucking around with that. There will be other times for that. I've got options here. Which option do I want to go for? Let me check on one of these options. See when their whole timeline's gonna be and all that. Before I commit to sending y'all there. That is a charity stream, and supporting charity would be nice. It's a little bit of a hefty ad reel here at the start, so maybe not. Nah. Even though that's a charity event, they've got a real hefty ad block right in their pre-roll. Not the one. Not the one. Not right now, at least. Might poke my head in there to be helpful later, but not gonna worry about that over much right now. You know what, then? I'll just encourage chaos, then. Chaos is always a good thing to encourage. Okay. Because Miscellaneous is doing a crowd control stream of Wind Waker where she has set all of the costs to do things with crowd control real low. And we can cause a lot of nonsense with that, so I'm going to encourage this behavior. But, as usual, thank you all for taking the time to be here. If there are people out there that aren't already following the channel and liked what they saw, remember to push that button. Up to you in the end, but reminding you that it exists. Of course, the VOD channel exists. We all know about that. It's all in the About page and all of that good stuff. Tomorrow is going to still be Kingsfield. I'm going to probably do some work on the side for that just to make sure that that's all well and good. Both making sure that the controls still work after we had some interesting moments with it last time. And I'm gonna check in on where exactly the hell I'm supposed to be going. Because I feel like we started having a bit of confusion there. And in the interest of speeding things along, I'm gonna check on that. Then Sunday, the usual nothing. I know I told you guys I was gonna come up with something for Monday, and I got real busy after yesterday's stream, so it didn't end up happening. By Monday, I'll have something. I might even tell you guys something tomorrow. Who knows? But I'm going to get this timer started, get y'all on your way. Thank you again, and go have fun. Be good. As good as I ever am, anyway. And have a good one. Bye.